Hi everyone, today we're going to go ahead and look at using our My Orders page. This is a great space to use for seeing draft orders, making sure your orders have been submitted. It is also a great place to start for reorders, to copy orders and make changes to those as well. So let's dive in. Here I am on the My Orders screen, and this screen is going to show me all of the orders that I have placed as a retailer. Anything that's in valid status means it is actually a valid order. And with that, you will also see a cross-reference ID. Anything that I haven't submitted yet would be in a draft order. Sometimes you may see other statuses like some pending or customer service, and that just means that the brand has set up one more check before that actually goes into valid order status. But valid and draft are the most common statuses that you're going to see on this page. You'll also see a PO number and a cross-reference ID. So what's important here about the cross-reference ID is if you have a valid order, that means your order has already been submitted into the brand. You can always click on that cross-reference ID and it's going to take you directly into the order detail of that specific order. So it's a great place to link in the orders and the orders ID there. Let's also look at your filters. So over on the left-hand side, you'll see the filters that you can use here on the My Orders section. You may want to open up the dates that the orders are showing from and to. You may want to search for a specific order ID. You may want to search for a specific product name or number. So for example, if I want to find the order that just had this product number in it, I can put that product number in and it's now just going to show me that order. And if I wanted to get a little bit more detail on that order, again, I can click right into that cross-reference ID and see exactly where that product was on that very specific order. I'm now going back into the My Orders page and we'll delete out that product name or number. You can also search for a specific PO number, and if you've created a multi-date order, you can use the order name here. Sometimes people like to only look at their draft orders, for example, and make sure that they don't need to be placed at this time. So that's another way to search by order status here. But I'm going to go ahead and look at all my orders. So how else can I use this My Orders section? So if an order, again, is valid, that means that you've submitted that order, it's been received by the brand, and you get a cross-reference ID number. So if you had to go ahead and call customer service for that brand, you can usually use the RepSpark order number here, or you could use the cross-reference ID number. That brand will have both numbers to be able to look up your order. What can you do with a valid order? So you can always look at it again. So if I wanted to get a quick review of that order, I could see what was on that order. So that's the first thing you can do. What else can you do with a valid order? You can always get the UPCs. So if I needed to get the UPC codes for that specific order, I could do that as well. So again, you can click right in and get the UPC codes. I could also download the images. So this is really cool. If you needed to use that product on your e-com site and you wanted to get a file of all the images in that order, you could go ahead and now I have each of the different images that are on this site for that specific product. It's a great way, again, for you to populate your e-commerce site very easily from the products in the orders that you've placed. What else can you do? You can always copy it. So this is a really great way to do a reorder. So I'm going to pick an order that has different products here, and I'm going to go ahead and copy that order. Once I've copied that order, you can see that there's a copy here, and I'm going to go ahead and open that order. So as you can see, there's a lot of different things that I can do now to that order compared to here on this valid order. But it's a great way, again, to do a reorder of product that you've already added. So I can go directly into that cart, and now I see all of the products. The one thing you do want to do is make sure to change your ship date. So if you do copy an order, it will be an exact copy. So you want to go into these order details here once you get back into the cart, and you're going to click your start date to, today or the day after, something like that. Click save. And as you can see now, this looks right. So again, one more thing to remember, if you do copy an order, it's going to exactly copy the order. And then from here, maybe I don't need this one anymore. This one was an absolute hit. So I'm going to order 2 of all of those. I will go ahead and copy that down to all of my product. I loved the blacks. This one didn't do so well. I'm going to go ahead and delete that one out and this one out. This one, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that that's a valid order. This one, I'm also going to go ahead and delete out. So I can go ahead and actually create a new order directly from an order that I had before. It's a really great way, again, to create a reorder that you are reordering multiple times or reorder from an initial pre-book order. I'm going to go back into the My Orders and show you a couple different things. So that kind of covered what you could do with a valid order. Now, if an order has not been submitted, that means it's in draft status. What can you do with a draft order? So you can always go and add more product to it. It's really cool. You're able to go in and I could continue to add product and complete my order. Going back into my order, what else could I do? So I could, for a draft order, go into the cart and make changes. I could go review that order. I could go ahead and validate and process that order. But here I can go right in. This all looks good. If there is an error, I can always look at the error. There's one line that contains no units. It will always show that out to me and I can change that. But here are my orders then is a great way to modify and change and submit any order. What's really cool to know is if one of your sales reps actually places an order, suggested order for you, it will show right up here as the draft order. The only difference is that the entered by will have your sales rep name instead of you, but it's a really great way for you to look at an order. So if I see that an order here that a sales rep has entered for me, I can go straight into the cart. I can look at that order. Hey, this all looks great. Actually want a couple of these as well, and I can just proceed to the review. So without having to do an entire reorder, I now can take a suggested order from through my order process and checkout. So that is a great way for the sales rep and the retailer, for you guys, to collaborate back and forth, making sure that you have a proper collection and proper coverage within that brand. So again, it's a great way to collaborate. You will see any order that's in draft that you've placed, as well as those that have been placed or suggested for you by your sales team members. You will also have access to any order here, whether it's placed by your sales rep, yourself, customer service, however that order is placed, you'll be able to see that here with an entered by. The only other thing here to note is if you do want to go ahead and delete an order, you can do that directly here. Only a draft order can be deleted, and that order is now deleted. Couple other things. You can copy orders. You can download an Excel or a PDF, or you can send an email with the order. The force submit is one that just your admin will have. So for example, if I wanted to pick a couple orders and export them into an Excel, I could go ahead and export these orders into an Excel. And as you can see, I have all of my orders in Excel format, and I can go ahead now and have this in case I was cross-checking my orders there at the retail location. So we have gone through your filters, your page, the actions that you can do for your draft orders, the actions that you can do for your valid orders, and then other actions you may take with this page as well. Hope this was helpful and insightful, and we look forward to answering any questions from you.